Stand here, ready to perform the custom known as Kriya, carrot, which refers to the ancient tradition of rending one's garment when a loved one dies. We carry these ribbons as a symbol of the pain that we feel in our hearts. We first learn about this in Genesis, when our patriarch Jacob believed that his son Joseph was dead and tore his garments. Likewise, in the second book of Samuel, we were told that King David and all the men with him took hold of their clothes and rent them on hearing of the death of Saul and Jonathan. Job, too, in his grieving for his children, stood up and rent his clothes. And now we, for our hearts that are torn, also perform the same act of Kriya. You can recite after me if you'd like. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Dayan, Ha'emet. You don't have to repeat after me, but the translation is, praised are you, Adonai, our God, judge and truth. And now at this time, the action that we do in conjunction with the blessing is to pull from the bottom to make a small tear. And then We should get into this out of this visit. We are gathered here today to commemorate and honor the life of Richard Rich. With any death, a piece of the divine spark is taken from the world. We gather to respect and reaffirm God's image in every human being. Those who Richard touched form a community here, and in their grief express love, joy, and meaning that Richard brought to their lives. In this difficult time, may his loved ones find comfort in community, find strength from the lessons that he taught, and find that God is with them always, even in times of their greatest pain. Their sorrow is heard, their loss is felt. Hear them, O God, be with them. And in this time of deep grief, the voice of our Torah, of our Bible, brings us God's nearness as a source of comfort. It tells us of our kinship with our Creator, in light as in darkness, in joy as in sorrow, in life as in death. At times like these, questions naturally arise in our minds, questions that trouble us, but to which we despair of ever finding satisfying answers. We are haunted by the question often left unspoken, what is death? And we ask, why are people whom we love taken from us? And we wonder, why does one person live long years and another die before his time? Why does one live a happy life while another lives a sad or troubled existence? However, even as we ask, we know that these are questions to which there are no answers. They are problems which were not meant for people to solve. We can only affirm that the life of an individual has had a deep and lasting impression upon us, leaving with us memories of years shared, memories that shaped our lives, and experiences that enabled us to view the world with a different perspective. Isa enai el heharim, me'ayin yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, osei shamayim va'aretz. A song for ascents. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. See, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your guardian. Adonai is your protection at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm. God will guard your life. Adonai will guard your going and coming, now and forever. Adonai ro'i lo echsar, binodesha yarbitzeni yomenu chot yinachaleni, nafshi shovev, yancheni b'ma'aglei tzedek l'ma'an shemo, gam ki elech b'geit salmavet lo yivra ra, ki ata imadi, shivtecha u'nishantecha, hema yenachamuni, Ta'aroch lefanai, shulchan neged sorarai, Tishanta b'shem roshi, kosi revaya, ach tov v'chesed, yirdafuni kol yemei chayai, v'shavti b'veit Adonai la'orech yamin. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters, and restores my soul. You lead me in right paths for the sake of your name. Even when I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. You have set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of God forever. Adonai ma'adam, v'teda'ehu ben enyosh v'tach shavehu. God, what are we that you have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like a breath. Our days are like a passing shadow. We come and go like grass, which in the morning shoots up renewed, and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to revert to dust, saying, return, O mortal. Would that we were wise, that we understood whither we are going. For when we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted, and behold the upright. They shall have peace. God, you redeem the souls of your servants, and none who trust in you shall be desolate. Mourning is the price we pay for having the courage to love others. Even in grief, we know that the wonder of human life is too complex and too magnificent to be memorialized in endless pain. The gifts of spirit our loved ones gave us cannot be measured or weighed, nor can they be lost or even tarnished by time. Even in our darkest hours, we know that some of their light and their warmth will always be with us, bringing comfort and courage, and in the fullness of time, healing and peace. In his sorrow, Job cried out, Adonai natan v'Adonai lakach, yehi shem Adonai mevarach. God has given, God has taken away. Blessed be the name of God. An ancient people, we are well acquainted with grief and the valley of shadows. Death and sorrow are not strangers to us. Yet the centuries have taught us that a good name endures beyond the grave, that there is strength in faith. With Job, we say, Adonai Natan, Adonai, God, you have given. You gave us a loved one and will not be forgotten. For all that was good and enduring in his life, we offer the deepest thanks of our hearts. Adonai Lakach, God, you have taken away. We pray for the strength to turn our broken hearts into an altar of trust, before which we acknowledge your sovereignty and love. As we now say, Yehi Shem Adonai Mevarach, blessed be the name of God, now and forever. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai asked his students, Ezu hi derech tova sheyibach ba hadam. What is a good way for a man to live his life? One of his students answered, to have an ayin tov, a good eye. Another said to be a chaver tov, a good friend. And a third, Rabbi Eliezer, replied, to have a lev tov, a good heart. Rabbi Yochanan then said, I prefer Rabbi Eliezer's answer. For those who have a lev tov, a good heart, also possess these other qualities. Richard Rich had an ayin tova, a good eye, for which he was able to look at life, with which he was able to look at life and at people and see the good. His childhood hadn't been easy, but he was able to appreciate and to really see the good that he still could enjoy in his life. Even after being adopted as an older child, Richard felt especially close to those who had chosen him to have him in their life. As a boy, Richard loved his family, spending time with Rita, Harry, Tammy, and Eva. He found joy with his family. He loved the mini vacations to the caves and Hocking Hills and day trips to Kings Island. He found happiness in the simple things in life, like watching episodes of The A-Team, Dukes of Hazzard, and Murder, She Wrote. Richard was a chaver tov. He was a good neighbor and a good friend. He had such a cheerful way about him, always able to find happiness when he was around others. He was, as Rita and Harry described to me, above all, lovable and loving. He was always excited to be in the presence of others, to be included. He called his family every day. He shared lunches once a week. He appreciated how supportive Mitch and Aviva had been of him as an adult, especially after his stroke. He really just liked people. He always wished those around him a good day. He enjoyed visits, those who were there to take care of him or simply to say hello. He felt close to Temple too and enjoyed spending time with us as well. He found comfort and assurance when others were near him. But above all, and basic to all else, he had a lev tov, a good heart. He was a warm, sincere, generous human being who cared about everyone's welfare and wished only to contribute in the way that he knew how. He was always motivated by affection and wanted to do the right thing. He always knew the difference between right and wrong. Indeed, Richard had a good heart, a strong heart, a lev tov. We have all been so blessed that he shared it with us. In his lifetime, Richard lived among the just and the upright. And now, Richard, we pray that you may continue to rest among the just and the upright forever. You lived your life with honor, touching the hearts of those who were lucky to have loved you. And your love was truly a gift from God. Through your selfless acts of courage and love, you helped to remind those close to you that they were created in the image of the divine. With you, others too found the courage to live their lives to the fullest. And so now we pray for you, that your rest and eternal slumber be one of peace. Obviously, words are never sufficient, never enough to this effort. But it is time that we let Richard go into the safety of God's eternal embrace. As we say, Zichrono Livracha, may his memory be a source of blessing among us. As for now, the miracle is over. The unique and precious human being is no more to our sight, but a new miracle begins, one which our tradition calls shalom, peace. May Richard's eternal soul ascend to heaven and rest in peace forevermore. Amen. I'd like to invite us all to take just a moment, quiet reflection, as we think of the blessing that Richard's life brought to Richard, to Harry, to Viva, to all of us. This time we rise for the words of Emily Rachamim. As we recite these words, we think especially of Richard's Hebrew name, Raphael, as we call it to mind, one which definitely included the meaning for healing, which we pray for him, for our own hearts at this time. El Mulei Rachamim, Shochem Bamromim, Hamitzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, Im Kadoshim Tohorim, Zohar Harakia Mazhirim, Et Nishmat Raphael Ben Rivka, Shehalach Ba'olamo. Ba'al Harachamim, Yastirehu B'Seiter Kenafav La'olamim, Bayitzror Bitzror HaChayin Et Nishmato, Adonai Hu Nachalato, V'yanuach B'Shalom Al Nishkavo, V'nomar, Amen. God of abundant mercy, God Most High, may the soul of our loved one, Richard Rich, who has gone into eternity, find the gift of perfect peace in your embrace, together with the holy and pure, whose light shines like the radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold him close to you forever, so that his soul may be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May he find a home with you, and may he rest in peace, as together we say, Amen. We continue as well with the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Please join in if you are able. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich machutei, ve'chayechon ve'yomechon, uv'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael, Abala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Nevarach Le'alam U'Lalmei Almaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitalel V'yitalal Shmei D'Kudsha B'Richu Ve'ela V'yikol Birkata V'shirata V'kushbachata V'nechemata Da'amiran V'yalma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah V'yishemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom v'romav, huya asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. This concludes our service this morning. Our thoughts are with the Rich family as we say, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem. May God bring comfort to you and among all who mourn among Zion and Jerusalem.
That was an issue, so it was going back. We didn't think back to that class. It was a few, some cameras.